All right. Hi, Adriano. So fun to see you.
Hi, Christy. Nice to see you.
Okay,
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So, yes, I'm excited to hear your progress. Tell us a little bit first about, I want to hear first about how your schooling is going, and then secondly, what you're going to practice tonight or this morning for you, tonight for me.
Yeah, yeah. but the school is going good. I think musically and technically good. Physically, I am a little bit overwhelmed. It's just too much work, too many hours.
Yeah, how many hours are
of
you playing every day?
well, from my solo repertoire, at least 5 hours, and
Yeah,
another
yeah.
3 hours. 3 hours of chamber music. That's already 8 hours at least.
Okay, are you
So it's
physically being okay? Are you,
the
that's a
thing
lot.
is that most of the times. At that time, I don't have any problem, but when I'm not playing anything, I do feel a little bit of pain.
Where?
And well, right in this part of that is for with the fifth, this muscle, I don't know how to call it, and then here as well, a little
In the
bit.
wrist?
Yes,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
is it achy pain or like shooting pain? Does it like just ache where you feel like you want to rub it out, or is it like shooting pain?
Aching.
Achy. Okay. Well, I'm not a doctor. I always say, do you have a doctor that you trust?
The thing is that in the school there is a physiotherapist that
Oh, good.
that is also a pianist,
Oh,
and
good.
and I think I'm gonna try to schedule an appointment with her. But the thing is
Yes.
that I can always like every single day I can always start with no pain until when it gets later, uh, 11 o'clock at night is when I start feeling
I would
the,
go.
the pain. So
I would go see that physical therapist and see if she can do exercises, even just for preventative stuff.
yeah,
Or a
oh
massage, or because that 8 hours is a lot. I mean, you have to think of
yeah,
yourself as an athlete, and that you've got to
yes,
really take care of your body because you can do permanent damage if you're not being
yes.
really
Uh,
careful with your hands.
Talking about prevention, the I think what it has saved me of of injuries, probably these muscle builders and power fingers. If I do them at the beginning of the
Yeah.
day, it's much better
Oh, good.
than some days that I skipped it. It's like twice as much the pain. It's
Oh.
like it's like these exercises are very good for compensation. I think compensation exercise, and I
Mm.
think the overload is not as overwhelming.
Oh,
But
good.
I, I don't know if I should do them more to maybe I should do like I should try to do like Olga Kern she was doing 4 hours, right?
Well, I mean, so you can incorporate muscle builders and power fingers into your pieces, right? So I practice all my pieces using muscle builders, like any of the virtuosic scalar, anything that's fast. You can practice
Yes.
muscle builders. I do that every day that I'm practicing.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then the
okay.
power fingers, when you play it at a slower speed, like half speed or medium speed, you can do power fingers, but playing your piece. Do you know what I mean? Whatever pieces you're
Yeah,
doing.
like the Schumann Sonata, for example.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So any of
Ah,
the virtuosic, anything that is virtuosic, scalar, arpeggio, fast, that requires articulation or any sort of athleticism, you practice it, those passages with muscle builders and with power fingers. Just make sure your form is still good. But I mean, that's all I do. I don't do like Hanon or Czerny or any sort of studies. I just incorporate it into my repertoire
oh, okay.
and practice the
Oh, that's good.
repertoire, slow, medium, and fast, different speeds every day. But the slow practice is muscle builders, and the medium half speeds are power fingers. And then, yeah, then the spot practice or whatever you're doing for the final. That really
Oh,
does
that's
save
oh yeah,
save my hands and arms. Um, and I can't emphasize enough, and I've seen you do it enough, so I feel confident. But muscle builders is so powerful, and you just have to make sure that your form stays correct, which means don't leave your fingers in the air, right? Like you don't want to be
of
doing,
course.
which you don't do. just make sure, like the form has to
Yeah, yeah,
stay whatever.
yeah.
You can do it as fast as you want, but just make sure you're doing it at a speed where your form is still correct.
Oh yes, yes. Actually, that's a good idea because I was doing the power fingers and muscle builders, and then
Yes,
I disconnect from them, and I go crazy on my pieces, and I think that
I
has been
see.
the problem.
Right. No, it can
Yeah,
really
yeah.
make it's good for your it's good for your muscle memory too, and playing it that's,
Mhm.
at different speeds is also good just for your mental memory. And just listening to it in a different way. So it's really useful. It takes
Yes,
time. It takes time. So you might not go through the whole thing or, do different passages that way or, it's but yeah, definitely you can incorporate it into your repertoire. And for me that yes, if I don't have time of the
yes.
three speeds, the one I leave out is the final. I always will do
Oh, yeah.
medium and
You did that with
slow.
the chop and ballad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
right, right. You remember that I would do muscle builders or medium speed. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I
Oh
need to
yes,
practice
yes.
again. I've been playing the Hallelujah chorus a lot. That's all I've been
Oh, okay.
since it's Christmas time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
That's all. I haven't been practicing. Actually, do you know what I've been doing, Adriano? I've been just sight reading one time through. I'm going from I've never done this before, and I really thought I knew the Beethoven sonatas because we learned them so much. We went over them so much when I was in college with Mr. Fleischer, and we even did a whole marathon where
oh
we played every single Beethoven sonata from beginning to end,
wow,
right? So there were 12 of
it's a
us in
lot.
the studio. So we each played about three of the sonatas. But we did like a 12-hour straight concert and we listened to all of each other's lessons. So I thought I was quite familiar with them, and I've taught them a bunch and played a bunch of them. But I'm sight reading every single movement from beginning to end for the first.
Wow.
And there are so many movements I just am not that familiar with. They're fascinating. It's fascinating. So that's what I've been doing. But the sight reading
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
enjoyable
Yeah,
to listen to.
actually, some that I was discussing at school that if you play the hardest Mozart sonata, you can master all Mozart sonatas. But with
Yeah.
Beethoven, it's not like it doesn't work like that with Beethoven.
Right. No,
It's
they're
but
so different and odd. And some of
yes,
them there's a few I don't really like. And then some of them just are they're all interesting. Some I just don't prefer. And some are just incredible. Just incredible. It's fun.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
It's like the greatest gift, or one of the greatest gifts to humanity.
I
This
agree.
Beethoven's music.
I agree. I
It's
agree.
absolutely there are not enough adjectives for me
Yeah,
to
I agree. Yeah, with the
to
string quartets and the symphonies and all of it, and then
yeah,
the
yeah,
piano works are just even if you just look at the sonata, such a trajectory from beginning to end. It's
yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, so it's been fun for me.
There is
Okay.
one
Oh, go ahead.
yes.
No, you go
No,
ahead.
no, no, no. There is one piece I want to get familiar with, but I didn't even know about the existence of the choral fantasy of Beethoven.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that one very well at either. But yeah, are you going to learn it? You want to learn it?
Well, the thing is that in one of the discussions of the WhatsApp groups, I heard that that was like one of the most important pathways to his Ninth Symphony, which I think it's.
Oh.
But I didn't know that choral fantasy existed. I'm gonna go to
Oh.
listen.
Yeah, I've had some friends play it. I have never played it, and I've never taught it, so I don't know it that well. I feel like, of course, you know it would best if you play it, and then for me, second best. Well, maybe if you play it and teach it, you know it the best. But then
Yes.
play it and then teach it and just listen to it. I don't know it as well. But yeah, you should play it. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That would be fun.
I love. Well, I've been doing the Appassionata sonata,
Oh,
but I
right,
think.
right, right.
But there's something very, very interesting about this that I thought that sonatas are a unique world, every
Yeah,
sonata, but every work of Beethoven, but they're still connected through each other.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe
You mean through
doing
all the works outside of
yes,
the sonatas too? Yes, yes, they all influence each
I
other, right?
I guess that will help to do the Appassionata better. I don't know. I guess.
I think so. Right?
Yes.
Of course, to get more context. So what performances are coming up for you in your school? Like, what do you have? Semester evaluations or no? Because you're doing artist diploma, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's both solo repertoire
Oh,
and
you
chamber
are.
music.
Okay.
And well, I played last month and again in the 14th, 15th of December. I have to play again, but I haven't decided if it is gonna be the whole Schumann sonata or the Mephistopheles.
Ooh, but both you could do. You know either. You have the whole sonata learned. I haven't heard the whole
Yeah,
sonata.
yeah, yeah.
Great.
I have the whole sonata learned, but the second movement,
Tricky.
yeah, yeah. It's for me, it's very hard. The second movement
I
is the
think.
slow one.
Yeah, yeah. And wait, the second movement's the slow one, and then the third one's the
The scherzo.
I think that. And so you say the second was the slow one. Play a little bit of the second one. I played
Oh
this.
yes.
I just don't remember.
Oh,
I've played it
you
and
did.
taught it. I've played the whole thing. Yeah, I played it
Oh great.
20 years ago.
Oh
Oh,
great.
in another lifetime. And
Oh
taught
that's
it, but I
fantastic.
don't remember. Play. I thought it's just one page, right? Is it just one page? Gosh, my memory's bad. I remember I loved the slow movement. I thought the scherzo was tricky. Does the scherzo jump around? Am I thinking of Faschenschwank aus Wien? I also played that. Is that the slow movement when it's one page? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's how does the third movement go? Is that the one that does dun dum bum dum, or is that the other? What is it? Play a little bit of the third movement. Third. Play a little.
Yes, yes.
Play a little bit of the third movement too, just to refresh my memory. And then the fourth movement,
It's
crazy.
yeah, yeah. The third movement, I like it very much,
Play a little bit of the
and it
third
was very
movement.
funny.
Refresh my
Yeah,
memory. I can't believe I don't remember. I played this whole sonata.
it's very funny how the third movement. I thought that I had to articulate the first. Bum, 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 bum. I thought I had to
Oh, I
articulate.
heard.
Taran, taran, taran,
Oh,
taran.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
going
It's too
so fast,
fast. Oh,
and
I like the third movement. I do remember
uh,
that movement. I like that
then
third movement.
my teacher told me that forget about doing the articulation. That is just it's almost
It's all
together. Oh,
together.
the band.
Right. It's all together. Oh, I like
Yeah,
that third movement though. That's super fun. I thought the third movement was the funnest to play. I actually love the first movement too. And then the fourth, yeah. Are you gonna play a little snitch of that? Yeah. So fun. Yeah, do a little bit of the fourth. You're doing the fourth? Now do a little bit of the fourth. Oh, yeah. Oh, such a great piece. Okay, so can you still hear me?
Yeah, I need to warm up a little bit more for that one.
Yeah, it's so fun. Okay, so tell us. So you have that whole choices between that whole sonata and the Mephisto in about a
Yeah,
week.
for December.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, for in about yes, yes, yes. Maybe the thing is that maybe the whole sonata may be too much, so they need to tell me how much time I have as well.
Oh, okay.
So they tell me, oh, you have 20 minutes, or you have just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Like last time was I had 20 minutes, so it was the first movement of the Schumann and that Hinastera dances.
Right.
The,
Okay. Okay.
yes,
So what are you going to practice today? What are you going to play?
I think I'm gonna practice the whole Schumann sonata
Are you going to play it
because
straight through? Are you going to do a playthrough or no? Are you going to
I played
practice?
through the first movement, yeah,
Okay.
the
Okay.
first movement, but the second movement I may just stop in some parts
Okay. And
that
work on it.
that I need to work on, and the I think the third movement, the thing is that I need to work on the steady tempo because I like to rush. I really like to rush that one.
You have lots of passion. You have lots of passion.
Yeah,
You got a lot of
yeah,
feeling in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but I think it's I need to work on the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
control the madness.
Right, 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 right. Right. And
Yeah,
when it's so syncopated too, right? You have to be so aware of the beat or else it loses
yeah,
its rhythmic integrity, right?
yeah. The one thing I learned of Sokolov, this great pianist that
Yeah.
plays it, uh, is that in at the beginning of the scherzo, he actually plays it slower
Mm,
than usual. It starts
mm.
at tempo. Pam, pra, pa, 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 pam, pam. So then he starts. Da, dee, da, 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 dum, bum, ba, dum. So he never rushes. He just starts slower
Right.
and then gets.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Reins it back in. Yeah. Yeah, that's a
so
good
what,
idea. It's so
what I
schizophrenic.
would,
It's so schizophrenic. It's fun.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Schumann, he's crazy. He's crazy.
yeah. And the fourth movement is, I think, the one I have to work more technically and the notes. I think it's kind of newer than the other movements
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I mean, I think the first and the fourth are the hardest.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But
The fourth was the least satisfying to me. That's what I remember. It's the most like, like, oh, it's fine. Like it's fine. But the other three I remember loving. Like
yes,
just the more I played them, the more interesting they were. And to me the fourth movement was it's like, oh, I don't know. It's good. Like it didn't have the same depth to me. It didn't have the same depth and possibility, but maybe I was just tired as the other three movements. I really loved the other three moves. And the fourth is fun. I thought it was fun, but
Yes,
not as deep. That was my impression.
yes,
You know, it was
yeah,
more
yeah.
just, yeah, like technical, like get it and it kind of plays itself, but there's not a lot of, I don't know, like the first, I think, yeah, the first is
No,
so
the first is extraordinary.
right. It is. It's just, I think that's the crowning jewel of it. But I love the second, and yeah. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun for me to think about this piece again. That yeah, I just don't know how many
Yes.
hours I spent learning it, and then I am performing it, and then I just don't even remember it. Adriano.
Well, I'm sure you can get it back soon, very, very quickly.
No, but I'll live through you and appreciate your 8 hours a day of practice and enjoy
Ah,
you
man,
practicing
yeah,
it. That's the
yeah,
nice
yeah,
part
yeah.
about being a teacher. You just go, you play that, and then I get to talk about it, and it's super fun.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's also a technique to develop.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, right.
yes.
Yeah, it's a technically tricky. There's not really a rest in there. Even with the slow movement, I mean, there's just so much to think about and be aware of. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's a big sonata.
well,
It's,
but I meant as a teacher, you have to also work in the in a technique to develop
yeah,
that that is also work. It's also hard work.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so just is it just the Schumann? Not just, but is that what you're covering today, or anything else? Anything
Yeah,
besides the Schumann?
yeah. I think that's yeah for
That's a
I
lot.
think because it's already a lot, and especially that fourth movement. That
So fun.
you know why I have this problem at the end of the day that I only do through the first part of the rondo of the fourth movement, and the rest of it. Oh, it's a transposition. So I kind of skip
Oh,
I kind of skip it. The transposition because I say,
oh,
oh, it's the same, so I already did it. And
oh,
it
yeah, yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work like
No, 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 no. Yeah, just even endurance wise, I mean, it's such a focus thing too to play from the beginning to the end, right? Of
that.
that whole
Yes, of course.
sonata, and yeah. And every
That
key feels different, right? So even when it transposes, no key is
mhm,
exactly the same just geographically in your hand. So
of
it's
course.
yeah, so it's tricky. But yeah, like
Yes.
you know it, but you don't know it, right? So you need to practice
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So that's so that when it goes to A flat, I
Practice.
need I need to make it equal to the other, and
Right.
the
Right.
the stamina of this fourth movement is kind of crazy too.
That's what I
Uh,
thought too. The stat, like you just get tired because it's all
yes, yes.
so much. It's just it was tiring. Yeah, I remember.
Yes, yeah,
I remember
Schumann
being
has
tired.
this. Schumann is very, very awkward in this. In
Yeah.
some of his music, technically,
Yeah.
it's very awkward.
I agree. Well, okay, so what we've decided to do is have Adriano record it. So we're going to close this video out and then he's going to record so he gets a better sound because his playing is so good and this piece is so interesting. We want to make sure it gets the best sound quality that we can. So I'm excited. Yeah, so you'll send me this and I'm excited to listen to it. It'll be fantastic. So um I will, yeah, I guess I'll listen after you send it to me. But have a great practice session. It was fun to see you
Uh,
and to chat a little bit too.
Thank you. Nice
All
to see you
right.
too.
Okay,
Bye.
practice away.
Thank you, Christy.
Okay, bye.